everyone, my name is Sydney Young and this is my educational autobiography. I hope all of you enjoy. My life has always been different, from having a normal community but a different home life to being different than the kids around me. Like many other kids, I had experiences that have affected my educational experience as a whole. All of these things have made me set a very high standard for who I want to be as a teacher. The environment around me in my daily life. I went to Assumption Preschool, Tenniswood Elementary, Middle School South, and L'Anse Creuse High School. I stayed in the L'Anse Creuse School District and never switched schools. When I was in 4th grade, I found out something that would cause me to have to adapt to school and made school a lot harder for me. I was hearing impaired and could not hear out of my right ear. My home life was very different. My parents got divorced when I was 6, and I have 3 siblings. As you could suspect, I was constantly fighting for attention. From the time I was born to 5th grade, my family had an at-home nanny who lived with us. This might sound cool and like the Disney show Jessie, but it definitely was not. My nanny Pam was a retired teacher. Both of my parents worked a lot, so Pam was home with my siblings and I most of the time. It seemed like once we got home from school, we had workbooks and projects to do, and we were definitely overwhelmed. My siblings and I had a lot of rules that most kids in our neighborhood and classes did not have. We were only allowed to watch TV for 1 hour a day. This 1 hour of TV was not cartoons or Nickelodeon, it had to be educational. We were not allowed to have electronics till we were in middle school and needed it. We also had very healthy parents, so we had to eat healthy as well. We also had to be outside if the weather allowed it. All of these rules made my siblings and I very jealous of our peers who could watch SpongeBob, play video games, and eat junk food. I had a few negative experiences with my teachers, mostly because of my hearing. In school, I wasn't comfortable with telling my teachers about my hearing. I became extremely frustrated in school. I was scared about telling my teachers because I didn't want to feel secluded. I also didn't tell any of my classmates because I didn't want my peers to think of me differently or weird. I was frustrated in school because a lot of times if I asked a question about something I didn't hear, my teacher would assume I wasn't listening or paying attention. I had a few negative experiences like that one. Once I had a teacher not believe me when I told him, and he emailed my parents to make sure I wasn't lying. He also asked me multiple times through the year in front of the class why I wasn't wearing my hearing aid. I also had a teacher who made me sit at the front of the class while everyone got to pick their seats. This teacher also asked me in front of the class every day, every 15 minutes of class, if I could hear her. I know it seems like I'm focusing on the negatives, but I did have positive experiences. Especially with my English teacher in high school. She was very overly dramatic and very loud. Everyone else in the class probably thought she was crazy, but I absolutely loved it. I could finally hear what I was being taught. Even though I could hear her, she would still email me privately after class to make sure I got everything. This teacher taught me many things, but mainly she taught me to not be embarrassed of something I couldn't control. I also had positive experiences with teaching students myself. I had great opportunity to go to my elementary school while I was in high school. I loved tutoring the kids and seeing their brain turn and see them working hard on learning, and I absolutely fell in love with seeing the spark in kids' eyes when they understood something. I also loved playing teacher with my siblings when I was little. I loved setting up my basement as my classroom and decorating it how I wanted, and of course I loved bossing my siblings around. I've always wanted to be a teacher since I could remember. From playing teacher with my siblings to actually teaching students in a school. I wanted to become a teacher for many reasons. I wanted to be a teacher so I can make every student comfortable and feel included. I also want to be a teacher to make a positive influence in kids' lives and my community. I also want to make a safe place for students that they can come to escape anything they are dealing with outside of school. Lastly, I want to be a teacher because I want to make learning fun and interesting. Overall, the community and people I was surrounded with The events I have experienced and the difficulties I have adapted to have made me want to be the best teacher I could possibly be in my future.